Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming out this evening. Thank you to Hugh and the Rotary Club and the Shans for making this venue available for us this evening. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Trish Giddens and I've lived in Central Hawke's Bay since I was 8. I was schooled in Mayoral and Central Hawke's Bay College, and I've worked 38 years here, largely in a full-time capacity. 18 of those have been in management, and of those years, 25 I've spent on various community groups in a volunteer role in various capacities. I've done 12 years on council as a councillor and a chairperson and deputy mayor and mayor. And I have to say, in these past 3 years as a new mayor, it hasn't been easy being through a recession and 3 droughts. However, I'm also pleased to say that I think they've done pretty well. I know they've achieved everything that I stood for, which is a good start, I think. But I think council's actually worked very hard on these last 3 years. We've consolidated, we've focused on the basics, and we've made some good progress. Financially, we've made savings of $619,000. We've actually reduced our deficit a year earlier than we'd intended to. We've also undertaken a rate review. That's made a difference to the way we've rated. And we've sold off surplus properties, which has also put money to us for capital gain. So financially, I think we're doing okay. Socially, we have in place the liquor bans in our 2 main towns, which is great. Also, we have the youth council, as I said, established, and that gives us a youth voice in the community, which we never had before. Also, we have the Safer Communities Committee, which is great. We're mixing with the police and all those involved in our safety in the community, the police, the fire brigade, the social services. It's a very good committee that we meet every 2 months. Communication, I have to say it's a bit difficult to stand up here and hear people communicate us for communication, because we can't force reporters to come to our meetings. In fact, it's very hard. I'd be lucky in the last couple of years if we've seen 2 or 3 people even come to a council meeting. So I know that we communicate, I know that I communicate on a high level, at all levels, regionally, locally. I attend everything. As much as I can, I attend everything that I'm invited to, and I certainly provide the flag for Central Hawke's Bay on a regional basis, nationally where I can also. And I think that's where we've benefited, meeting with ministers of the Crown and engaging with them to get money into Central Hawke's Bay that we've never ever got before. So we've had money given to us for the youth as a result of the Youth Council, and for our ageing strategy and hapu development and economic development, and I think that's great. And also with projects like the Town Hall, where we're fundraising that money, we're not rating the ratepayer apart from what we normally would have rated anyway. We've fundraised for that outside of what we would normally, and that's different. That's something different for council. That engagement we have with the regional council is fantastic. In the last 2 years, it was initiated largely by them, but again, Central Hawke's Bay benefits. We benefit because they've purchased the land, they've planted the trees for us to dispose our wastewater to, and also the initiative on the Ruataniwha Plains for water storage. I think that's fantastic. As Hugh said, water's going to be an issue, so I think we also share services actually with the regional council, and that's a good thing. So the next 3 years, I think we need to look at our expenditure more and just check and review and see if we can make cuts. Let's make cuts where we can, but not to the detriment of our assets. And we need to further dispose of surplus assets where we can. We've still got some potting paddocks and things that we can dispose of and put money in the bank. Complete those projects of the toilets that are going to be built on the Green Patch, the Town Hall, and the hospital issue. I mean, no one wants to see that site fed more than I do, but trust me, council's done everything that legally supposed to do, considering it's in private ownership, and I'm very comfortable with what we've done so far. Amalgamation, I say don't discard amalgamation. I think we need to, you make the decision, the community makes the decision, but it's our responsibility to make sure that you have all the options available to you and all the information to make that decision. And I agree with Tim actually that I don't know whether it's going to be forced upon us. Once Auckland's bedded down, maybe they'll say, well, okay, it's worked all right, let's work under rural as sectors and all the smaller councils. So it would be good if we took the initiative and considered, or gave you all the information and you make the consideration. Community development's a big thing, and there's community forums being set up out in the community at the moment. And also under the Local Government Act, we are responsible for engaging with Māori, and we haven't done that very well in the last few years. However, we do have a new chair, Tai Whenua, and we will re-establish our Māori Consultative Committee. Ngāti Kahungunu are currently undertaking their treaty talks, and I think on that front I'm quite optimistic that things will be better between us in that involvement. So my vision for the future is to engage and energise the whole of Central Hawke's Bay and take you along with us in a supportive council to develop Central Hawke's Bay economically. We need to be sustainable, we need to make sure that we don't die like some smaller towns can tend to do, and I think we've got a fantastic community that we need to sell our assets, we need to show them, showcase them and market them to the world. We need to attract people to live in Central Hawke's Bay, we need to work to get business opportunities in here, and also tourism. Tourism is going to be a big thing for us. My expectations are high. I do think accountability is essential in everything we do. I think the council service delivery that we put out there must be of a high quality, and I also think it must be ratepayer and consumer focused. I believe that people matter the most, and I have a high respect for people, and I do believe that people should be respected in return.
1 minute, Trish.
Thank you. I think I'm a positive, progressive person, and I appreciate the privilege of being there. I am one vote amongst 9. However, I have learned, and I'm prepared to hear what other people are saying. And I think, I set up portfolios when I first became here to allocate responsibility to councillors, so 2 councillors in each portfolio, so they focus solely on that portfolio and fed all that information back into council. And we didn't get it totally right, so I'm prepared to, to listen to what people say to see how we can do it better. The only other thing I'll say is that I am quietly strong and a hard worker, and if I was re-elected, I undertake to work hard for you again. And I'd just like to say, if you haven't voted, please vote, and if any of your family or friends, push them along and make sure that they do vote. Thank you very much for listening to me.